There's nothing more satisfying than a juicy carnitas taco, and I've got just the recipe for you. These are the best carnitas. Oh, I gotta go in for more. We're making pork carnitas today. This is one of my family's all-time favorite recipes, so much so that we have it in our weekly rotation, and it takes a humble piece of pork and makes it super juicy and tender and succulent. And by the time you get it on a warm corn tortilla with a little bit of avocado crema, some onions and coriander, let me tell you, you'll be in heaven. These carnitas are so, so good. So let's get started. I have a bit of pork in front of me, and we're using pork shoulder here because it has a good amount of fat to it, and I've just cut it up into chunks. We're gonna season the pork with some kosher salt and some black pepper, and I have a pot here that I'm just gonna add a touch of olive oil to. Once our oil is nice and hot, we're gonna layer in our pieces of pork, ensuring not to crowd the pan. Then I'm gonna brown them on all sides before transferring them to a bowl. So looking into the pot, you can see all these sort of gorgeous brown bits that are stuck to the bottom. That's all flavor, and we want to do our best to lift that flavor up so that it ends up in the carnitas. So to this pot, I'm going to add some finely diced white onion, a little bit of garlic, some jalapeno, a cinnamon stick, and some bay leaf, and we're going to saute the onions off until they're slightly golden and translucent. The aromas coming off this pot are just magical. It smells so good in here. And now I'm gonna take my brown pork and transfer it back to the pot with any juices that have accumulated. We're gonna top the pork so that it's just covered with water and seasoned with kosher salt to taste. Then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of ground cumin and some oregano. To give the pork a bit of a citrusy hit, I'm gonna grate in some orange zest, slice the orange down and squeeze the juice in as well. And then we're gonna tuck in those squeezed oranges right around the pork. They're gonna add so much flavor. My oven is preheated to 400 degrees. We're gonna pop our pork in for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, or until it's super tender and slightly browned on top. So while our pork is baking, we're gonna make an amazing avocado crema, which is gonna add a touch of acidity and creaminess to this dish. So to a blender, I'm gonna add some avocado. We're gonna squeeze in some fresh lime and add water and a touch of salt to taste. And we're gonna whiz that up until it's fluffy and thick and creamy. So look at our pork. It looks absolutely delicious. A little brown on the top, tender and succulent on the inside. And I'm just gonna take a couple of forks and begin to shred the pork. And you can see how tender it is and how it just sort of falls apart. This is exactly what we're looking for. Now let's put a taco together. This is so, so easy. I have some warm corn tortillas here. I'm just gonna grab one, place some carnitas on top, a big dollop of that avocado crema, and I have some finely chopped onions and coriander that I'm gonna scatter over the top. And just like that, our pork carnitas tacos are ready. All right, let's go for it. Succulent, tender, juicy. These are the best carnitas. Oh, I gotta go in for more. I literally just inhaled that taco because it was so good. But did you see how juicy it was? All the juice from the carnitas just dripping off, nice and fatty and flavored so well with that little bit of cinnamon, the orange, all of those spices, and the meat is melt in your mouth good. It's just so lush. Oh, I could eat it on its own. And then paired with that tart avocado crema, the crunch of the onions, that little bit of coriander. I am in absolute taco heaven. These are my pork carnitas, the perfect family meal. Save it for your next Taco Tuesday.